What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here for another video, and this headline is just a wild Marie Antoinette level of out of touch with the consumer kind of headline. I really can't believe they phrased it this way. This is from The Gamer, entitled, "Gaming Analyst Says There's, quote, hope in the industry that Grand Theft Auto 6 will cost $100. Hope. Hope. As in they want it to cost $100 to the customers paying for this game. Hope. So what does the article say under that crazy headline? Well, it states that according to a gaming industry analyst, developers and publishers have hope that Grand Theft Auto 6 could cost as much as $100, something that would help rising development costs and allow others to raise their prices as well.
Not a great plan.
Raise their prices as well. So they want to set a new industry standard in terms of the money you have to pay as a consumer. Although the last few years have been absolute bangers when it comes to the quality of games released. What?
I'm retarded?
It's no secret that the gaming industry is in a very rough place right now. Countless studios and projects have been shut down, while the increasing focus on hyperrealism and perfection leads to games taking much more time and money to get out.
Wrong.
That is
Hyper focus on realism and perfection. Yeah, that's why Minecraft is such a massively played game and really beloved by its audience for its hyper realism and great graphics. It's why people play Fortnite in droves, because the graphics aren't cartoonish at all. Everything's beautiful and smooth and crisp and hyper realistic. That's what was really missing from things like Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League or Concord, was that hyper realism and perfection. Well, maybe the perfection part, because they really missed the ball when it came to anything that actually mattered in those games. Things have been looking bleak for a while now, but there's a few bright spots on the horizon. Alongside Nintendo finally releasing the Switch 2, the hopefully impending launch of GTA 6 in 2025 has a lot of us hoping that it will be a turning point for the industry. As it turns out, that hope is also shared with publishers and developers. A report is out there that claims that there is, quote, hope within the industry between publishers and developers that Take-Two will respond to all the excitement and hype surrounding GTA 6 by raising the default price of the game to $100. Considering the fact that GTA 6 is going to sell well no matter how much it costs, the industry is reportedly hoping the price gets raised so that others can follow suit.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call gouging. They know they have something you want. They know you'll be willing to pay way more than top dollar for it, way more than you should pay for it, so they're going to charge you extra. And they hope that by fleecing you the extra dollars, it will get you used to paying more for games, so they can charge more for games. Because that's what's wrong with the industry. Doesn't have anything to do with costs, doesn't have anything to do with bad decisions, doesn't have anything to do with hiring activists that are driving franchises into the ground. It just has to do with the fact that you aren't paying enough as the consumer. The price rise is quite a jump considering games currently cost $70 and previously cost $60. I remember when games cost $50 or $40, but it's believed that the increase could help with the ballooning price of development, which is now longer and more expensive.
Oh shit, here we go again.
It's longer and more expensive because you're hiring people that don't know how to do their jobs while also letting veterans walk or firing them. And you're hiring people based upon their inherent characteristics rather than their merit a lot of time. And even then you have a situation where you have something like Concord, where you hire thousands of people to work on a game, and then halfway through developing the game, they're like, we don't want to work on this game anymore. So they outsource it to another 1,000 different people who then finishes the game for them, adding more expenses and time on already ballooning expenses and time. It's not clear if gamers will be willing to pay that much for anything other than GTA 6, but it does seem to be what publishers are hoping for. I'll tell you right now, no, they're not. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was a modest success. Do you know why it was a modest success in terms of the number of people that played it? Not even sales or revenue or especially profits, just in the number of people that played it. It was successful in the number of people that played it because it was free on Game Pass. Most people, I'll wager, did not spend $70 or $60 or whatever it costs to actually buy the game. They played it for free through Game Pass. Now imagine trying to ask those people to buy it for $100. It would be a massive flop. It's a mid-game based around a dead franchise, and at best people thought wouldn't be offensive and maybe make its money back. Anyway, this whole concept is a ridiculous idea. This whole anticipation of, well, if we charge gamers a little bit more for this really, really highly anticipated game, maybe it will get them used to paying more, and then we can up the prices of everything else. That's a horrible mentality, because at the end of that mentality, what you're actually saying is the consumers are the reason why we're failing, because they're not willing to pay enough to fund our games, not because we make shitty games. Astro Bot was a platformer that was made for around 50 to 75 million. It made 90 million, and it was Game of the Year. And guess what? Nobody was talking about the difficulties of making that game and the hyper-realism that they had to focus on. It was a freaking platformer. And if you tried to price Astro Bot at $100 a game, guess what? It wouldn't have done well, and it wouldn't have been Game of the Year. It's just a completely ridiculous notion, and I don't see them ever actually getting away with this. If they try to up the prices after GTA 6, the whole industry is just going to fall flat on its face, because there's a price ceiling, man. It's like that with every industry. I like the sandwich shop here in my town, this little mom and pop sandwich shop. But when I started going there a year ago, their sandwiches were like $12 after tax. Now they're over $14 after tax. If I want chips and a drink with that, it's almost $20. I'm not going to spend $20 for a sandwich meal just for me. And it's not like it's some massive Subway footlong. It's just a normal little small sandwich. That place hit my price ceiling, even though I liked their product. Just like the gaming industry is hitting a price ceiling. Even though we may like your product, we're not going to turn out $100 a game. Expect to see massively decreasing sales if you do that. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.